getting a little feeling good about ourselves. So it's always nice to have that friend that brings you back down. So thank you, Jacob Moorhead.
Anytime, boys, anytime.
Welcome, everybody. Day 2, NFR, RümpChät, brought to you by Pete Carr Pro Rodeo. And Rump?
Yes.
Can you hear me in your...
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, okay.
No,
All
wait,
right.
I can't
How was
hear
your
you.
night? I can't hear you in my ear. And vice versa. Thank you. We're trying the headsets today. We need our hands. We talk with our hands a lot.
We talk with our hands.
Yeah. So anyway, how was
it was
your...
great. Night number 1, Las Vegas. Yesterday, a RümpChät was amazing. The great Dale Brisby was on yesterday. I really liked that because we got into some stuff with that. That's, it wasn't just him doing the cowboy. Like, it was some real stuff. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Great performance last night. The one thing, though, that was a little crazy, and I appreciate the NFR for trying something, a little bit different. But the jokes that I've seen today on Jason Aldean shaping hats, that's been pretty good.
Look, that's a big star to have at an opening. I don't care what you say. He's more popular than...
I never said anything bad about him.
Yeah, that they're you see comment like, it's Jason Aldean. That guy has sold more tickets to his shows
No,
than...
I never said anything bad. I thought that was cool. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was cool to see that.
Little inside baseball. We start Viva Las Vegas, and we are 10 seconds in, and Alan Reinheimer, the GM, comes up to Marty, who calls the show right next to me, and he says, I didn't get here soon enough. I didn't want you to start Viva. Jason Aldean is not here.
Ooh.
Well, the band is not here. Jason was there. The band wasn't there.
But does the band actually play?
It was part of it. Like we were all set. You had to have them.
Right.
They didn't. He actually sang, but it was a backtrack. But it's impossible to mix a full band like that. But anyway, so we had to change the order. It was supposed to go, the Six Flags, prayer, flag, anthem, Jason. So we had to completely reshuffle, move him to behind the leader, the video, and the intro of the leaders, plus that huge excursion or whatever it was, had to turn around in there, and there's 4 pyro boards out there. So it was, but nobody noticed, which was good. And so we had some fill time. We kind of had to fill here just for a few seconds, but they got there, thank God. And it was good, but nobody noticed, which is good. So I'm kind of patting our production team on the back for that.
I like the limo, but I do want to put this out there. And I know Casey Duggan's around here somewhere.
Right there, he's behind. You can't see him behind the speakers.
So
he's the same height as those speakers.
Casey can verify this. I every morning I like to get up and get on the Facebook to see what the scuttlebutt was for the night before.
What the professionals.
So there was a guy last night that said, I think it was so innovative and so cool and so new that they brought the limo into the arena with the Cowboys. I'm like, Mac Altizer did that at Del Rio and back in the 90s. You remember that, Casey? That was not the first limo to come into the arena. Just for the record, that's another thing that Bad Company did. But I like that.
It was at the NFR.
I like the limo. Years ago when the Wrangler bullfights, when Rex Dunn and those guys all showed up in the limo with full tuxes on. I know I complain sometimes about the NFR, but it truly is. Sometimes. It truly is cool. It's cool for what it is.
It's the best.
It's the second best rodeo in the PRCA behind Sioux Falls, but it's still really good. You did a great job. Shout out. Round of applause from my man Hambone. Everybody cheer for Hambone right there.
Yeah.
You did good.
Thank you.
I liked your song selection.
Thank you.
Especially during the Bulldog and when you played the song that they do at the college football games. That
Shock West.
How does that go? Will you hum it? Yeah, like they usually play that during the third down at college football. That was cool as shit, dude. That was.
Yeah, I get a lot of things from sports venues. Are you kidding me?
So that was really good. Thought the bull riding last night was unbelievably
excellent.
great.
The guys rode awesome. I mean, Bouquet was so fired up because he got in because Creek Young injured, and so he got in last minute. And I saw him afterwards. He's all jacked up. He goes, I told myself, we got to talk like that Bouquet from Louisiana. He said, I told myself, don't you be the first man to fall off. Well, he didn't. So he rode Trevor, my Iowa boy.
Yeah, Trevor Rice is on my pro fantasy team, so that's golden. I felt terrible though my man from Northwestern Oklahoma State, our good friend J.D. Struxness. No time the Bulldog, and that's okay. Funny story, though, for everybody that follows the Pro Fantasy Rodeo with the Tattoo League. So Cody Stanley from Everything Rodeo, he wants to get in the Tattoo League. He's standing right down here. And so he wants to get in the Tattoo League, so we get him in the Tattoo League. And day number 1, he's 30th. And there is no backing out. You have to get the tattoo. If in 10 days you're still at the bottom. So everything's off and running. It was, I just enjoyed it. I really did. We were at the Zook nightclub. I want to give a shout out real quick. You know,
you do?
I complain about
All the time.
I complain about country music singers and how most of them I don't like the new country music. Do you know who I like? Wade Bowen.
Yeah.
Y'all ever listen to Wade Bowen?
Yep.
That guy, not only is he a great singer, he's a cool dude, and he's not like bro country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think Red Dirt, I believe, is what they probably would classify him.
Yeah.
more.
So we're in this room at the Zook nightclub last night, like in the back, like in the green room area, which was cool because it wasn't like the green room last year that was a tent, like it was an actual green room. And so I was sitting there with Robert Gallagher from Billy Bob's Texas, and Robert's like, "Hey, Wade wants to talk to you." I'm like, "What?" So I go in there, and Wade's like, "Hey, you're the rodeo clown." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" So
Yep. Butt cheeks.
he starts just asking me all these questions about being a rodeo clown. He goes, "That is so crazy. I'm sitting with a rodeo clown." I'm like, "It's so crazy. I'm sitting beside Wade Bowen having this talk."
That's awesome.
But he was a great guy, great concert.
Side note, talk to Robert about coming on the show.
I need to.
Robert booked the bands for Billy Bob's for 40 years and has stories galore. So
Yeah,
look at the schedule.
Robert has made love to Tanya Tucker. Did you know that? He has. He has.
Well, there's
that's a little
narrow list.
That's your list. Should I not have said that?
No.
No. Sorry.
Let's get right into it.
Why? Because I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. Let's get out of Tanya Tucker.
Rodeo of the day.
Yeah, you know, the Rodeo of the Day is very special to us. Not only is it a chance to sponsor the show that brings this awesome stage and all of our crew here, but, you know, we get to highlight some of the awesome places we go and the great people that we get to work with. And we're really, really happy to have these guys on here. One of the most phenomenal rodeos, well-produced, most
Great
fun.
building, great hospitality.
Beautiful building. But our boss, who we talked about yesterday,
Yes.
from Corpus Christi, Texas, and Buck Days Rodeo. The rodeo of the day today from Corpus Christi, Texas, is Buck Days Professional Rodeo Let me look at my hat. I get the
Johnny
number.
Philipello. Come on, Johnny.
Philipello, everybody. Round of applause.
The main
He's
man.
our boss. He writes our checks. Be nice to this guy.
Yeah, good. Have a seat, my friend. So it should be on, I believe.
How's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Johnny listened to the podcast yesterday where we talked about the principal's office of Buck Days when Hambone beat a guy up, and then we thought that we were getting fired.
You know, the rates at the Omni magically went up this year. I'm not sure why they wanted to go that route. But,
I don't know. As long as we're there, we're
Yeah, we thought you knew the story, so otherwise we probably would have kept that one not on the air. We told it the next day on the radio, so which was, and then when you said, "Hey, can we see you guys afterwards?" We're like, "Oh no, we're going to be at the Super 8 now."
I'm trying to get the video footage still. They haven't let go of it, but I'm getting closer to the true story on all of this.
we told the true story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So where was Andy in all this is my question.
So he started it, and he sat over on the couch. Yep. And then
Is that why he's
also,
outside over here today?
Also sat on the couch, he was here, was Nate Justice. You'd think a 6-time NFR bullfighter is pretty tough.
The most
I think they're
athletic of
signing.
all of you, right?
Yeah,
So-
the toughest guy there. And he just stood in the back until the guy was on the ground, and then he came up. So, that's usually the role that I have.
So hopefully we're still at the Omni next year. We're working on that, but we'll keep you posted. So.
I hope you get the footage because you can see us ask the guy to go away multiple times.
Multiple times. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you listened yesterday also. For everybody that's in here in-house today, I really am pushing Bo Gardner from LVE next year to have right over behind that bar a ring, a boxing ring, a fighting ring, and we have a deal called Box a Buddy. So if you want to, fight anybody, right over there, you pay the money, you get in the ring, you duke it out. It would be amazing.
I think it'd be great. Put contract on. Our buddy Nard had the idea. He wants to, pin contract personnel like he and I could box. Garrison Panzer and Garrison Allen could box to see who gets to keep the name.
If you and Brad boxed, that would be a worse fight than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Like that would.
It would be. We'd have to do 30-second rounds, otherwise we'd pass out.
It would be like those toys that you push the button and they shoot out.
I always wanted to do with Bulldoggers, do the Russian slap contest. Where they. That would be pretty good. But Clayton Haas said if anybody slaps him, didn't care if he likes him or not.
Will Loomis would send somebody to the other side.
But yes.
But
anyway,
back to the rodeo.
Back to Corpus Christi. Man, what a great venue. We're right there on the bay. A gorgeous building, and it's just so nice you get to go to a place like that. Suites and good concerts, carnival. There's so much to do. Tell us a little bit about that week.
Yeah,
2 weeks, really.
Well, obviously the venue we love. What we're really excited about is our voters approved a bond election, a sales tax that's going to allow us to continue renovating, improving it, making it an even nicer venue for our future. So I know
I'm
for
jealous.
us, I figured you might be a little bit, but keep working at it because I think y'all have got obviously a great thing going there, and so we're really excited about it. It's probably a few years down the road on that front, but rodeo, buck days, the carnival, the shopping, all of that, we keep building, and couldn't do it without a great team like you guys to come in and help make that all happen.
It's so crazy when I think back. I went to the rodeo in Corpus Christi when I was driving a truck for Heath Stewart years ago, and just the change over the years is just phenomenal. Even in the building, okay? Mm-hmm. This is probably one of my favorite things. Everything matches. The colors that you see here, the green and the black, it's the color of everything inside the building.
Ties together.
It's unreal.
Thanks.
And you know what else? This is what I always say. You can tell how good a rodeo is by its hospitality. And you go to some rodeos, not knocking anybody that has hospitality, but you go to the hospitalities that have the old lady with the preg check glove and the deal of pulled pork that are making sandwiches on paper plates. When you go to Corpus Christi hospitality, they have linen napkins. You know what I'm saying? Like actual catered.
And you got the guys with the Magellan shirts that are sunburnt because they've been smoking meat and drinking beer all day.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's going to be a good hospitality room.
It's a great group of volunteers, 300
Awesome.
Plus, and each year we're continuing to push the envelope. How can we make it better for the fans, make it better for the contestants, and it's been a great partnership with WCRA to do that.
And they care. Your volunteers, you can tell the ones that care.
Yeah.
Because they want to do good, and they take, how can I put this, a scolding from Boyd,
Right.
to say the least.
And
and they keep showing up year after year knowing.
And the scoldings have gotten less and less because they've learned and grown
Exactly.
and been able to understand what's expected of a great quality production. I mean, these guys are equipment operators and bankers and ranchers, so it's not their everyday thing. So
I want to tell you though, I did take a borderline scolding at Corpus Christi this last year.
Yeah.
Because at Corpus Christi, the button busting chute comes down out of the roof on a chain.
That was a loud one too, actually.
And so they dropped the button busting chute into the arena on a chain. So I thought, because I was out there calling the scores for the button busting, so they hit the button and the chute goes. And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab a hold of the button busting chute.
He's like a small child in a toy store.
And I was like, I'm
things.
gonna let this chain motor, because I'm like, I'm 300 pounds, but
They were only half-ton motors, so.
But that chute had to weigh something, so I thought so I was going to hold on to the bottom of the chute because it was in the spotlight. And the chute wasn't in the spotlight, so it looked like I was just flying through the air.
Going up right
So
there.
I hold on to it, and it starts going up, and this guy came out of nowhere.
Benji yelled at him to go get you.
He goes, let go. And by this time, I'm like 15 foot because it went
That
up.
was a Benji butt shooting there, though. That wasn't
It
a board
went,
one. So
it went up so fast, which thank God he told me to let go because it hurt falling from that level.
First off, it was more like 15 inches. It was not 15 feet in the air.
It was probably at least 6 foot.
We all would have known
Casey,
a
did you see-
305-pound
did anybody
rodeo
else-
clown is hanging 15 feet in the air. It was, wasn't it, Casey?
It felt like it was okay.
He's rumping the story.
It doesn't matter. It felt like it was. But also the stage. That's what else is cool. So you go to some of these rodeos with concerts, and which I think is great. You guys had Poison, Brett Michaels, which is so cool. But the stage,
loudest concert I've ever heard.
the stage drops out of. So the bull riding is over. The stage drops down out of the ceiling. That is so cool.
You know, we actually stole that from Oklahoma State Fair. They do that there, and then we went up and saw it there, and was like, man, this is
It's cool.
pretty slick. 15 minutes,
does
the
Jackson still
concert's
do that?
going. So
I think Jackson still does that. It's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
I wish we could do it. But I want to go the WCRA. What a partnership it's been. I think this is year
Year
four,
five.
Five.
yeah,
You know, we're over 500,000. Was it like 545,000?
real close to that. Yeah.
So I mean, $500,000 rodeo. We started the youth.
Yeah, Division
rodeo.
Youth last year was awesome.
That
you know,
was-
when we started it, we're kind of like, man, how do we sell this and make sure we're owning that it's a youth rodeo. We don't want people showing up thinking, well, we were wrong. It was as good or better competition than the pros a lot of the time, and the fans loved it. We're going to do it again this year and just keep building on that.
Plus,
Yeah.
I love to hear Boyd Paul Hamus
Announce goat
announce
time.
goat time.
Goat tying and
Haven't
pole
announced
bending, right?
goat
That's
time
great.
since
So.
announced
We're gonna
goat
switch
rodeo.
goats. I thought that was. But
What are we gonna do with the goat switch, Johnny?
So you know what else was crazy? They give away instead of buckles or spurs. Rodeo Corpus Christi gives away surfboards.
And that's what's cool. You know, we always get the contestants always get spurs
Right.
or buckles or something like that. But to have something unique,
Yeah,
because you're on the bay, you know, you're on the water. So I thought that was brilliant.
It's been fun. The first year we did, if you go back to 7-8 years ago, we didn't have a finals, so we really didn't crown a champion. So we gave it to the steer roper in Robstown when we were doing that, because you pick a champion that day. Well, we started getting calls from the guys that won the perf and the overall show in town, and hey, how do I get a surfboard? I said, well, we don't have a final, so what we've been able to do with WCRA and build on that and really make Saturday a show with the six round and 3 round makes it a fun championship, and I think they all love hoisting that surfboard at the end of it. So.
Well, and to be on, you know,
CBS Sports.
yes, worldwide television is.
About
is-
600,000 viewers watch the championship round on CBS, and then a lot of great content on Cowboy Channel and Ride Pass and all of that. So it's been fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of different entities that come in there. I mean, it's madness back in behind.
You know,
but-
the first year we did that, I was like, where did all these people come from? And it's a couple hundred folks easily when you really count coming together to make it all happen. And what I'm really proud of our committee is the willingness to try new things. I mean, so often you get stuck in this, well, this is the way you have to do it. And these guys have embraced, like, well, let's give it a try. Let's see how we can do it better. And we're about to do that again with the Kid Rock lighting system for the timed events. That's
we
gonna
are.
be a big step
well,
off
there's
for
some
us,
news.
so,
Why don't you explain that to the fans?
Yeah,
would you, Johnny?
explain it to the fans.
Yeah, so
I have no idea what you're
don't you
talking
try.
about.
okay, so our champions last year got to go compete as a team in Arlington at the Kid Rock Rodeo as part of the PBR World Finals. They actually won the event, so it was pretty cool to see that happen. But that event was a head-to-head race for the timed events. So they had two steer wrestlers shoot out the gate at the exact same time based off of a red, yellow, green light system. The chute's programmed to open. And they race on who can flip a steer the fastest. For us, we're obviously not a big enough arena to have a head-to-head competition. But since we are that qualifier for that team, we're going to implement that same lighting system for
On the red light, green light?
yeah, and the chute's going to open, so those
Sweet.
guys are going to get trained.
Can we do that in the rough stock?
Not a bad idea.
I don't got my
right?
wrap here at Yellow.
Don't
You
matter.
better get something.
You better get a hold, Megan, because we about to open it.
But as a fan in the audience at that Arlington event, what was really cool, you know, a lot of times during those timed events, you're off talking to your friend and, you know, listening to the clown sell tacos or something, you know.
Yeah, when you guys poisoned me with hot sauce, I
And
remember that.
but this system truly made you wake up and pay attention when the ride was there, because a lot of times you're not sure when it's going to happen until they nod, and you might have missed it. So we're going to give it a try, see what happens with it. We're excited about it. So.
I think it's cool to be able to, you know, in your partnership with the WCRA to do that, you know, instead of, like you said, just the traditional stuff. And I think it's way friendlier for the fans.
Yeah.
I think it is anticipation for that, just like drag racing.
Well,
you know?
and what was really cool is if you won Corpus and then you went up there and won that event, some of those contestants were taking home $60,000, $70,000 in 7 days.
I think our
which
team
is-
did really good, didn't they?
Yeah, they won. They won.
Yeah, they won. That's right.
Yeah.
Which was kind of
So-
cool. I kind of, you know, felt pride in that because I was part of that team.
Absolutely.
But you know, going back to what you said about doing different things, I respect that so much because I've said it a million times. Everybody wants something different until you do something different.
Exactly.
You know, especially in rodeo. But I think
Yeah, it's a lot of places though. I don't think it's just rodeo, but you're dead right. It's hard to step out there sometimes, and especially when you're in a rodeo committee with 100 different personalities that all have an opinion. But our group's been really consistent of saying, how do we do better for the contestant? How do we raise more money for scholarship? And
that's got to be your scholarship deal's great. Also, you guys helped with the giveaway to a veteran that needed a home.
That's awesome.
That like had me in tears, man.
Yeah,
they give a home to a veteran. Now, that right there, I think, deserves a big round of applause.
Thank you all.
'cause that is one of the coolest things I see all year.
It's a mortgage-free home. Really cool opportunity for a veteran to have a home that's equipped with the things they need that have gone through, obviously, war injuries and so forth. So thank you for that. Our committee's very proud of doing that every year.
And they should be, because that's awesome. But getting back to the road, if you're at home, you're listening, and you don't know, and you've been having your head in a hole for the past 5-6 years, but WCRA, doesn't matter. Start nominating events, because it doesn't matter if you're a weekend team roper or you go to 100 rodeos a year. You could be eligible to come. It's more than like $60,000 an event.
It's great. The winner's going to take home close to, I think, $17,500 this year, and over a three perf, 4 perf outing for you. So pretty good opportunity there. So.
And if you're a young kid, if you're in here, you're out there rodeoing out at the Junior World Finals, start nominating. Right. It's cool. A good friend of ours, Wyatt Williams from San Angelo, kid won the bareback riding there, and it was so cool to see him hoist that. He says about 3 words, so it's pretty funny seeing him in a spotlight with a microphone. But I just think it's cool. We darn sure never had that. We did rodeos for like $5 off car wash for mom and dad. Now these kids are winning big money.
Well, and really the partnership we have, it's 3-pronged. It's our committee plus WCRA and PBR, and it's been a great.
Yeah, you do the Velocity Finals the week before
so we
the
have the
rodeo.
Velocity Finals the first weekend, and then PBR actually does the media production. So a lot of that equipment that comes in to help, with the cameras they bring in are unbelievable for that CBS broadcast that we have.
Beautiful.
It's been a willingness to everybody to work together and grow the event and make it better. So it's been fun for us.
And it's great. If you are a rodeo fan and you want to go on a vacation, there's some rodeos that are cool that are not vacation destinations, but if you can slip ready to go to Rodeo Corpus Christi, go down there. There's beautiful restaurants, Water Street, the Brewster Street Bar right there,
Republic of
Whataburger
Texas.
Field,
on
Republic
top
in
of the
Texas.
Omni, where we had so many
Great
bourbons.
fishing, miles of beaches. The King Ranch is just 20 miles down the road from us, so it's a great tour to go check out.
So much to do.
It's a lot of fun.
If you're a
so-
rodeo fan who also wants a beach vacation, you can sit in the sun, drink Mai Tais, and go watch somebody win $17,500 at an event. It's an awesome
and
place.
the aircraft carrier.
Oh, yeah.
The Lexington's right there. You have the aquarium, the Lexington, and a lot of fun there. And you might see a boxing match at the Omni.
Yeah.
You never know. So.
The last thing I would say about the surfboard.
Right before we gamble, right, Scott?
Caleb Bennett, he won I think it was Caleb. He won the bareback ride there last year, and he flew in, so he couldn't take the surfboard. So he
You
asked.
still have it, don't you?
No, we finally gave it to him. So he
It's
says
in his man cave.
He said,
I know
"Can
it.
you take this surfboard with you?" I'm like, "Sure." So I was driving home the semi for Championship Pro Rodeo. So in the sleeper, there's this surfboard sticking out. And so me and Will O'Connell, we switched drivers in Altus because I was tired. And so I told Will, "Don't get pulled over. That's all you got to do is not get pulled over." He gets pulled over in 10 minutes, and there we are. The DOT guy comes to the door. I got on a pair of shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. And Will's dressed like the one-armed bandit, and we have a surfboard sticking out of the sleeper. I'm like, "Nothing to see here, officer."
Nothing sketchy about this. right?
He
So-
actually let us go. I think he felt bad, but be sure to mark your calendars.
Cool.
Johnny, thank you so much.
Yeah,
what-
thanks
was
for
it,
having
for
us.
what you guys do
7th
for
through
rodeo.
the 10th, correct?
6th through the 10th
6th
with
through the
the
10th.
Division Youth. So, yeah, please come out, buckdays.com. And thank you guys. We really love the production team. And
No
y'all
fighting
make it
this year.
great.
We will not. Hambone will not punch
All right.
one person at your rodeo. If he does, he'll work your rodeo for free.
Awesome.
You heard it here on RümpChät.
Thanks,
you,
Johnny Philipello. Thank you, Rodeo Corpus Christi. Awesome.
I love that rodeo.
Oh, it's so fun. And we do a daily show there too.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. Down, at the bar.
Brewster Street
Brewster
Bar.
Street Ice House. They put us on the radio, so we have to kind of clean things up, which is probably not bad for
Hambone
either
said
of
a
us.
naughty word on the radio like 3 times, and then the radio guy came and scolded us.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't that bad.
No. Well, you know what? The next guy we're going to bring to stage is brought to you by our good friends at Hoxie Implement Company. They bring in our guests every day. And, we push a lot of farm, a lot of agricultural guys. If you're going to buy some farm equipment, check them out in Hoxie, Kansas. Your local Case IH and Kubota dealer, family owned. This is the most important part of this. Family owned and operated since 1962. Jeff and his crew are great. That's in Hoxie, Kansas. They can deliver anywhere. They bring our guest, probably one of the most celebrated.
Let's just see. He's got, 8 world titles, 21 from 1989 to 2009. He was right here in Vegas. 51 NFR round wins. That's insane. The greatest bronc rider of all time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Billy Etbauer. Hello, my friend. 5? No, it's 8.
Billy, this isn't a show about facts. You just sit down, okay?
That's what I thought.
If we make something up, Billy.
This is what happens. I thought it was 5, but I trusted the PRCA. Right here, 8. It says, Garrett deals with this. He goes, it's 5. But what's it say right there?
It says 5.
It says you won. I guess it does say, oh my God, look at this. It says all around in 95 and 96. Did that happen?
No.
How about a tie down in 1985?
Does it really say that?
Look at
Billy, did you have to fill this out? Are you lying? No, you know what? This is RümpChät. If we tell you that Billy Etbauer beat up a bear, you believe it, all right?
So
That's legit.
there you go.
I'll
There
tell you
go.
what, Billy, we're so glad to have you on. Sorry about all that.
No, thank you guys.
But what an iconic career. I was thinking back when Lacey Dale said that we might be able to get you on, I was like, wow, this is legit. Because, back before I was fat, when I was a bronc rider back in the day, I was pretty good, for the record. I wasn't bad. But I remember back in the day when you and your brothers and Craig Latham were going, and everybody's like, wow, it's Billy Etbauer.
Unstoppable rig.
And, I think about all the rodeo people I've met and how they've rodeoed and lived their life. I was thinking about this today. I've never heard one person go, well, you know, that Billy. Like, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about you, which is awesome. And so, like, when I was a little kid, man, we all looked up to you guys, you know, still do. And
Well,
so
thank you.
we're so glad to have you.
Thank you.
And coming back to Vegas after all these years, first year was 89, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, mine.
You just hold her close.
Hold
and
it
then
closer?
He'll turn it down.
Does it
Thank
sound
you.
pretty
Yep, good. Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
so Robert and Danny actually come in 88, and me and Craig and Robert and Danny all come in 89 on. So
So is
that
there-
was the first year that I actually made it.
So what's the biggest difference from the NFR today than in 1989?
There's no comparison really, other than it's in Vegas. You know, I mean, that's everything has changed. It's a whole different world, and thank God for all the people coming in, out, and you know, all the sponsors that, you know, all the money they're getting into it. Everything is it's just crazy good on being able to make a living being a cowboy, and everybody just coming out and loving it.
Well, it's obviously production's a lot different and everything, but when it comes down to it, when you stand, I can't imagine, obviously, when you stand on the back of those yellow chutes, I guarantee you it's the same feeling the guys have today that you had for those 21 times.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it never got old.
No, that never gets old. There's nothing better, and that's what you work all year for, and like that, when you get all done, that's what I worked my whole life for, you know. So, but yeah, but like that, when you get all done too, it's, you know, I loved it, and I love riding broncs, but the people, you know, all the fans and the family that take you to get you there. And just like you guys know as well as anybody what it takes to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just you. I mean, it's your dream, but there's other people that are helping you fulfill that dream. So
You know, and before the blue shirts of the Riot Boys, there was the Express Ranches of the Etbauers.
The old
That
EX3.
was. I always remember that as a kid growing up. You know, you'd see shirt, like you knew it was one of you guys, and I mean, growing up in Sydney, Iowa, you know, and you always came there, and I remember winning it one year. I'm sure can't remember when it was, but it was just that's what, you know, seeing you or anything like that, like, takes me back to that magic. You know, we rodeo so much now. Unfortunately, some of the magic gets covered up, frustration or tired. You know, oh, we got to go again or whatever. But it's to go back in those minds and see you. I'll never forget watching you ride. And it was the biggest thing in the world to see Billy Etbauer on the day sheet, and you waiting all day to see it. So thank you for my childhood for being awesome and giving me cool memories.
And you guys didn't really turn out back in the day. You even went to Rumford rodeos.
no, we didn't go to open rodeos, but
No, Rumford rodeos.
Oh, Rumford. Oh yeah, we went everywhere.
Like,
yeah, no, if ever.
Your guys' style of riding broncs was if you entered, you went.
Yep.
Now
exactly.
today, when you enter,
Yep.
you might
Yeah.
go. You might stop by.
You stubbed my toe today. I better not go.
Yeah, like the latter part of my career, you know, then I slowed down a little bit more, you know, because I wanted to be home with Holly and the kids, you know, and just being able to stay healthy, because I ruptured the disc in my back in '92. And so I was off for like 4 months, and I can't remember, we was kind of talking about it to somebody the other day, and I only had it was only like 5 months that I had to be able to make the finals, because I had been crippled all year, and I hadn't won nothing up to that point. And by the time I think it was April when I started, and then I was still blessed enough to be able to have a good enough year that I still made the finals that year. You know, so that was just crazy to be able to only rodeo that long and be as crippled as I was beforehand, you know, because I went through the surgery, but then I was walking from that day forward after I had the surgery. I was walking 4 miles a day every day, you know, and doing all my crunches, squats, everything to keep that back held together so I could keep rodeoing. And then thankfully, you know, Express Ranches come on. Mr. Funk, Express Ranches picked me up in '96. I met him in '95, and then he picked me up in '96, and I had an unbelievable career. That year was just unbelievable. And then he picked Robert and Danny and Craig all up from there on. You know, so that we always had that team effort, but the sponsorship of Express made it work. We could actually truly have some money at the house when you get all done. Just like when I was home and I was crippled and I couldn't pay any bills, you know, after 96 on, then I had that monthly income, so I was able to have somewhat of a stable life. I still needed to go out there and rodeo and win, you know, hopefully after that, but I still got that paycheck every month. So that makes a big difference in my life and just the rodeo cowboy being on just one. If you know you've got this much coming in, at least you could kind of survive doing that.
It's huge.
I got it.
A safety net that most guys don't have.
Oh yeah, no, it's a beyond a blessing. So
I want to ask you this. This was a rumor years ago, but I want to ask you if it's true.
Look at his face.
It's not like a bad one. I had a guy tell me about the Etbauers, and he said that, oh yeah, he said, you know why they always have money when they're rodeoing together? Because whatever they win, they throw together, and then they just divide it among the three. Is that true?
Yep, it is. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
And really, and like that would have been like my rookie year, like say like that 88 or maybe the start of 89 that we were doing it. Well, actually through 89, because really until we all made the finals, it was combined. Yeah, we just throw the money in the pot or in the bank account, you know, and we'd throw all that money. And so per se, if somebody's winning or not winning, you know, hopefully out of the four of us, somebody would win and keep putting money back in the pot. So it didn't matter.
Did anybody take off and really start winning? And you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I just want to just quit this whole splitting it up
Yeah, was
thing.
it ever like the other day the Niners kicker missed like 4 field goals and somebody came up and was like, do your job. Did you ever? If some guy was on a badge, people were like, hey, bud, if you could really
Come on,
drive
Robert, bark him out.
Damn it, Robert.
No, I don't think, you know, I think the only people that ever knew what was going on with that account was Robert and Sue, you know, but I mean, that's why you started it, or truthfully is because you had Sue there to be able to be the account holder to keep everything lined out, and you know, you're not going to get any straighter than what your family's going to be with you, you know, so like that, we never worried about it. We didn't look back and wonder who won what, or at least I didn't. You know, it didn't matter as long as we were all going, and that was our whole deal, was just to have that team effort and be just striving forward.
That's awesome.
That's why
you couldn't do that with
That's
Ty.
why you're a good person. Because I'm going to tell you this. You were in business with your brothers, and you guys split the money. Hambo is my best friend, and I've negotiated in my head killing him several times over the past, 4 years. So, to do that, you know, I'd always heard
It's
that.
vice versa. Don't worry, that's two-way street.
So the reason I say that was because the one year at Cody at the night rodeo when Blake Minham and I were both in the bulldogging every night, Maury Tate's the one that told me that, because he's like, you know what you and Blake ought to do is just, you or Blake are going to win at the night rodeo, so just put it all together, and then at the end of the week split it, because that's what the Etbauers do. Yeah. And I'm like, no, they don't. And then that was in 2005, and finally
cool. I
getting
never
that.
heard that.
Yeah.
That's
But, you know, when you think about your rodeo days, how much things have changed. When you were rodeoing and you guys were all going, there was no cell phones. You couldn't enter through the app. You had to stop at pay phones. Who did all your entering?
Well, as a whole, between Robert and Craig did all of it. And, you know, it was kind of, most of the time, Robert and Danny was kind of going one way, or at least earlier, you know, in our career, it was Robert and Danny going one way, because you'd really only buddy two, or they only had to keep two of you together. Later on is when you had to keep four of you together.
Really?
So, but basically, as a whole, Craig entered me my whole career as a whole until he was done. And even after he was done, he was still entering me. And I buddied a little bit with Red Limo. You know, he entered us up some. But as a whole, like I think about everybody else as a whole, Craig was always the person entering me or us, whoever I was rodeoing with. So Craig was, you know, he was the brains of my whole career, because he's the one that put me, basically every rodeo I went to is where Craig entered me.
Really?
I think I entered one rodeo in my whole career, because Craig was too tired to wake up and get it done. So,
Did you guys all get together and say, okay, first of the year, here's what we're going to try to do. This is how we're going to rodeo. We're going to try to hit these, not go here.
Yeah.
Or was it
Well,
Was those rodeos capped?
Yeah, did you have a rodeo count back then?
No, not back then. No, no,
Okay,
I
good.
don't
I would
think
ask
there
you
was
about
no
that in a
caps
minute.
nowhere, no how. Because I don't remember for sure what year was it that Craig got flipped over on at Cheyenne. So I think the rodeo count at that day was 120, and that was probably our record year. It was probably 88 when he did that. And anyway, so when Craig was crippled, he was out for that month or better, and I was still rodeoing. And then once Craig started back, then I just kept rodeoing with Craig because that's what I wanted to do was be at a rodeo, and I wasn't married, didn't have kids then. So that's what I wanted to do. So when you got all done, I went to 150 plus rodeos that year, but all the rest of them at the end didn't count. I was just there helping, hanging it out and loving to ride broncs and riding with Craig. So
Well, the moments you created at this rodeo, let alone all rodeos, but the greatest moment for me, you and Cool Alley.
yeah,
I mean, when you can hear Boyd and Bob in the heyday of those two, and I remember I was in the stands, and I'll never forget it. It was one of the greatest, if not the greatest moment. I think the only other moment I think that can kind of compare is last year when Kai came back after getting absolutely demolished. He came back the next morning and rode that bull.
When Kai passed away,
yeah,
yeah. 4 hours later, he came back to life.
But if you don't remember it, I think we've got it. So let's roll it.
Cool Alley. I think when was talking about going to break when you're a kid, you fantasize about, having a chance to win the world championship, round 10 of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo on the saddle
right here?
bronc of the year. And here it is.
you better be lifting on your rein, get your good spur out, and go at him.
And when you look at
Keep
the arena
your rein
record,
in the
it's
saddle.
93
Billy, you
points
look
by
like you
Billy
can still get
Etbauer.
on right now and be okay.
I think so.
Well, I sure don't want to try. I'm trying to got to keep up with those grandkids now, so I'm trying to get some horses going for them. So.
Look at a baby face, Cody DeMoss.
Billy has put on a
Here we go.
Big rear out now. Billy's tap. Oh, look at this. Billy Etbauer. Remember that arena record's 93. Look out,
the
Billy
slam.
Etbauer. Whoa, man.
Did you have any air in your body right there?
No, sure didn't. No, separated my ribs a little bit there, and it. Thankfully, that was the 10th round because I was sucking air for a few days after that.
That's definitely you're probably still grunting trying to find it, but
Yeah.
did you know what you did though? I mean, getting up, obviously you're in pain, but did you know what you did?
Well, like that, I was just hoping that I made the whistle. I just like right here. I mean, I in the perfect world, I'd want to spray him out for 2 jumps that really hold my feet good, and like that when they're bucking that hard, it's harder to do that. But realistically, I felt like I was bucked off every jump. So, and then when she did that and set up and kind of come back underneath me, and that, I was just blessed to be able to make the tweeter and being horse of the year and the 10th round and just my age and everything, it was just a blessing all the way around to have it all work out. And like that, what makes all that fun and great, I love the ride no matter, separated ribs or not, it was that crowd and that everybody that helped get you there and was pushing you along to get her done.
Well, and that was the same year that you got bounced off the fence that one perf, and that's
Maybe so. I don't even know.
I remember that because that's when the Thompson Mac went silent. When Billy hits the deal, and everyone's like, "Oh!" and he gets up. Oh, thank God. Okay.
When I hit the video, the TV camera, is that when you're talking? Yeah.
Yeah, but and that was back in the glory days of Kessler Rodeo. I mean, those were
Allie
some
was a
bucking
bad
horses.
cat. She was
A good
special.
rascal.
Painted Smile.
what was-
of course, one of the top ones. You got on Painted Smile and was like 103 points, I think.
Well,
do you remember all those horses? Because when we talked to all the different guys we've talked to, especially rough stock riders like Donnie Gay, when you talk to him, he's like, I got on that bull was 705, and he'd been out 3 times that week. And
he remembers every bull he ever got on.
do you have that mind as a
Not at all.
You don't?
No, not at all. I don't. I mean, like that. I remember Cool Alley, but I couldn't tell you what I give her for a rein. But like Robert and Danny Craig, basically those guys would remember every bit of it. And I always had a book that I carried around. So every time I got off a horse when I left that rodeo, I was writing down exactly what I needed to remember to, to get on the next time the rein and how they were. So.
That's cool.
Well, that's what I had to do.
You had to do that.
Well, yeah, in order for me to remember it.
Yeah.
But I had like between Robert and Danny and Craig, Red, everybody would help me out on, especially like the rein and that, because they'll tell me, I'll have the same horse at the same rodeo the next year, and they'll say, well, you got on him last year here. So,
Did I?
Well, tell me what I did.
Yeah.
But like that, it comes right back to everybody helping me down the road. So
Can you believe though, like last night, to win the round, $33,000.
What did you win in 1989 just at the finals? Do you remember?
Well, I'm not. No, I don't know for sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that I come in 15th in the world, I think. And I think Clint was leading it. Clint Johnson was leading it coming in, I think. And I know I had an unbelievable year that year. And I think it was maybe 101,000 or just over 100,000 that year. But I think, don't quote me on this, but I think I placed in nine rounds and won 5 of those. But, and I don't think I had another year that good. Or, I mean, that because it was a whale of a year, especially for a rookie coming in. It was an unbelievable year for that.
That's really good. 101 in 1989.
101
That's amazing. I wasn't expecting that number, but of course it's.
No, it was crazy, and like that. Don't quote me on that, but that's just kind of what I remember because it was crazy, unreal how it did because that was from going like the year before when I started rodeo and I just left the farm, So I was 25 years old, 24, 25 years old, and and I just left the ranch, and that's kind of rough in itself, But to go out there and think that you can't make a living being a cowboy and rodeoing, and be able to make that kind of money, that was just a total life changer. Because when I left the house, I had like $15,000 in the bank. So I spent it all that first year just to get me down the road, So that's when it come into play that we got to combine and get together,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why to spend everything that you had for the first 24, 25 years in 1 year, and I wasn't going home and picking rock. We're hooked and we're going now,
Yeah,
So
if you have 15,000 in this day and age, you can hang out for like 3 days at resorts. Maybe.
Literally.
Maybe. But, at any point when you were rodeoing, because I think back about, my journey, not really as a contestant, but just overall. But, I'll never forget in 2008 when I was like, you know what? I'm done. I tried. This is stupid. I'm quitting. Did you ever have one of those moments?
Well, yeah. I mean, I like say in I don't remember what year it was. I think it was either in 02, 03, something like that. And they'd lawn dart me, and I'd hurt my neck real bad, or just jam me together from the tip of my toes to my head, And I'd go home and I'd get healed up like 2-3 weeks. I'd go out there and I'd start rodeoing, and like the second or third one, they'd lawn dart me again. And I'd be back home for 2-3 weeks. And after this had happened about 3 or 4 times, and I talked to somebody, and I don't know who it was, but I wish I did. But was talking to them, and I said, boy, man, I'm not sure that I'm not getting the hint that I shouldn't be home, because I'm 40-some years old, or, you're right around 40 years old, that I just don't. And like I wasn't feeling that bad. I just was getting hurt all the time. And he said, oh, you'll know it when it's time for you to quit. You'll know it, And thankfully, we kept rodeoing, and so I was ready to quit, but not, it just hadn't hit me to quit. And anyway, then after that, like I say, it was either 2002 or 2003 that all that happened. So I kept rodeoing, and then I was lucky enough to win the world in 04, So if I had to quit on what I thought was, man, I don't know if I'm getting a hint that once I finally decided in 09 when I rolled off that colt at Houston, then when I was walking back to the chute, I was done. You know, there was no doubt in my mind that was the answer right there.
We hear that, you know, from the guys we've talked to on the being done date. But, you know, for all those years of getting beat up and all the toll on your body, I got to tell you, you're getting by really good. You're moving around good. So, like, what's your secret to right now? Because a lot of these guys, when they get done, they can't hardly walk, beat up, sore, and you look great. I look terrible. You look wonderful. You look like you can get on a bronc. If you entered the bronc riding match here, I would buy you in the Calcutta.
yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of things that tie together with that. It's just like Holly's always been very, you know, basically my whole career, Holly's been to the point of always, you know, giving them vitamins and all this kind of stuff, where a normal cowboy is like, I don't need all that stuff, you know. So basically anything that Holly puts in front of me, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm not perfect, you know. I've got little habits that I do, and you know, like especially now that you know, there's new deals that like the X39 that we're doing now, that it has really made a lot of difference. Like my hips never really bothered me my whole career as a whole, and anyway, we got into these X39s here. I guess in July, and my hips was hurting pretty bad. And then anyway, we got on the X39s, and
so what's the X39s?
It's just it's a stem cell patch where basically your body rebuilds its own stem cells. You know, like as the older we get, you know, the more your stem cells just naturally just kind of quit working, and so this X39 will get your stem cells regenerated. And so, like, now my hips aren't hurting anymore. So now I'm thinking maybe going back to riding a few more colts. And I'm not going to be no bronc rider, but I'm gonna, you know, I'm still going to get those kids on those broncs. But you know, I just move around a lot better. Just everything feels better now. And you know, I was very blessed my whole career anyway. You know, but with all the exercising that I did through those years, you know, all that made a difference. But and I even like the brain fog that I had, like coming in here last year and being out here. You know, I don't remember the names and stuff like that very good anyways, but with the X39, like that brain fog has really cleared up a lot for me. So, and with my whole family in one point or another, they've got, you know, just multiple things that have happened that, you know, that they've got little deals where the X39 has really made everybody feel that much better. So that's what we're really stuck on now, is just doing, because it's something that's so easy that it's crazy not to do it.
I got brain fog bad.
Yeah.
I think X39 would be a better thing to buy than. I met a guy behind Resorts World in the alley that was trying to sell me some stuff that made me feel better.
He said it was safe.
So
he said it'd make you feel good.
I did not buy it.
Well, I could guard the X39. It don't matter what you've got going on. It doesn't matter because there's nothing in it that's gonna. It's not a medication. It's not anything. It's just it triggers the light, like if you go outside and the sunlight triggers the vitamin D in you, you know. So that's what you put this patch on, and just your normal body light, it triggers that.
Well, and I think that's one thing a lot of contestants need to think about in their careers is at some point we're going to be done. And you know, you see some of these guys when they get done, they're just beat up.
I think more today they take care of, you know, guys work out more.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
not so much smoking
Yep.
cigarettes and drinking beer, and you know, I think guys today, because we always go, oh man, they're back in the day. You know?
But it doesn't matter. Age is going to catch up to you, and just like that, that X39 patch is going to make all the difference, because your body's going to start fixing itself again, especially if you quit all the bad habits. And have just, you know, if you're drinking water in the X39, I can guarantee you it's going to make a difference in your life.
Well, if you want to buy a bottle of water around here, it's only like $20.
There we go. Well, I want to go back, our awesome video crew back here, Casey Harp and his people. If you got a rodeo or whatever, I'm going to get a shout out to them. These are all their screens, everything. So awesome job. But they actually have, I think it was the first time you set the arena record in bronc riding. Rio Bravo, was that the first time?
I believe so.
That
yep.
was the one that was
Yep.
on the Ram rodeo trucks.
Yeah.
forever.
Let's look at this. This was awesome. The big flashy horse of Surveys. Jerry Dornkamp on the flank strap. Look at that rare out.
This is shaping up to look great. Yes, it is. Billy, he's opened up again in round 10.
That's a better landing than on Cool Alley.
Did you do that on purpose? Don't lie.
No,
that
I
was-
never did that.
That was-
and I mean, that was controlled buck off. I mean, that was kind of up out of there a little bit, and that was just trying to not land on my head like I did on Cool Alley.
Controlled buck off. That's the word of the day.
But how cool is that? I mean, to stick the landing like that and walk off, I mean, that's just a legend. That horse always had that big rare out. And
What-
then looked like he was just fun to.
That's like one of the most iconic pictures too. And Rio Bravo's completely out. Like you said, it was all on the trucks for.
There's Robert going, oh, you won again.
Robert's like, you want to split that round money, old
Well,
bud?
and like that, the horse just to get out of there and not hit that gate, you know, because the way he bails out of there like that, you know, a lot of times he gets you on that gate. So like that, it was a nice clean get out.
So do you follow? I mean, do you watch a lot of rodeo still, or?
Oh yeah, the old Cowboy channels. Got
Okay,
me
so
hooked, yeah.
Pete Carr, who brings us this show every day from Pete Carr Pro Rodeo, one of the top names in rodeo, he's got some stock out tonight. So in the bronc riding tonight, Toma Joe, 375. Toma Joe is 6-time NFR. Lefty Holman's been 89. San Antonio Rider Ride, 88.5. Damian Brennan, 87.5. Bailey Small, 87. And Brody Chris was like 89 on 9th round of the NFR. Tonight, Dawson Hay on Toma Joe. What do you think?
It ought to be good.
Dawson's great. Dawson.
Oh yeah, no, there's all these guys. It's great watching, and what a bunch of great horses. I mean, every night, as far as I'm concerned, if you missed it, you know, you missed something. I mean, you got to be watching it because it doesn't get any better than what it does now.
And I to interrupt on Pete's deal, but to these horses these days, how cool would it be to go back to, because it was different, you know, and the horsepower now is, you know, so much. I think it's a lot different. You always had rank horses; they were just, I think, fewer and farther between. Correct?
Oh yeah, definitely, big time as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we were hoping that we could get on an 18 plus. You know, I mean, you know,
Rumford
back
Rodeo
in-
is it.
you know, there
Rumford
just wasn't them out. But every one of those rascals anymore is a 20 plus. You know, every one of them. So how much fun would that be to get on them every time? You know.
Yeah, Brody Wells has a Pretty Woman. The Pretty Woman's been around, been to the NFR 8 times. 14-year-old brown mare.
Well, that's great.
Dawson Hay has won the road around. Jake Finley was 86 on Pecos. Colby Onechuck was 87 this year. Pretty Woman, I think that's another horse that came from High Low. That right, Duba? Pretty Woman came from High Low, right? Duba knows. He knows
Anyway.
everything. So that's the two broncs out. And the one bareback horse tonight out, San Angelo Sam.
That horse
Of
bucks.
Pete Carr Pro Rodeo. San Angelo Sam has got Cole Reiner, which Cole Reiner is in a lot of the fantasy rodeo team. Like,
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people that drew Cole. And the last animal out tonight for Pete Carr in the bull riding. You ever ride any bulls, Billy?
One.
Two.
That's all it took?
Yep, that's all it took.
Before you-
The next, I guess I kind of was all right. I was fairly content on the first one. And the second one stomped the dog out of me, and I said, "That's it."
That's it.
So Pete's bull out tonight. Trey Kimsey, who won the round last night. Of course, you know we all love the Kimsey families. Are Oklahoma people, and of course Sage and Kimsey's.
Sage?
I
Never
will
heard of
punch
her.
you. I will punch you in the
I'm
goatee.
just kidding.
His bull tonight, Bruised Kitty.
That bull bucks. I love the name, but that bull really does.
Pete's bulls have some interesting names like 013 Richard Slam. That's out tomorrow night. Richard Slam in the bull ride. But tonight, Bruce Kitty, Trey Kimsey. That bull, J.R. Stratford was 90 at Angelo.
I told you.
On that bull. Been rid 3 times out of 29. So we got some big names out from Pete Carr Pro Rodeo. We We appreciate him every year for supporting this show and getting to bring guys like you on. I'm going to put you on the spot. This is going to be a hard question. If you could go back in time, any horse, live or dead, okay? If you had the perfect body and your perfect riding condition, what are the 3 horses you'd come back to get on where you think you could beat anybody?
Well, Cool Alley would definitely be one of them. And, Miss Congeniality probably be another one. And I wish I could remember this better, because I can guarantee you Pete had at least a handful of them, and I'm having trouble pulling one of them up right at the moment. Another one, Bobby Joe would probably be another
Bobby
one.
Joe Skull.
Bobby Joe, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
And, what was another one?
It's tough.
Well, especially for the guy that never remembered the horses
Yeah,
anyway.
that's right.
Let me get my book out, and
It's
I
called-
can tell you a few more. But yeah. there
Does
was-
any of these younger guys that are here at the finals, do they ever hit you up and say, man, Billy, what do you think about this or that? Or
Well, no, I mean, well, not as a whole. I mean, all those guys everybody's great to me, you know, and like that. I think everybody as a whole knows that I don't ever remember the horses anyway, like watching them now. You know, I like to watch a good bucking horse, and like that, I'll kind of know them to see them when I'm watching them, but when you start trying to get me to pull them up and stuff, I'm not going to, I'd about have to see them on the TV to be able to tell you what they actually are, so.
Okay, my last question of the whole show, my tough question. What was a bigger honor to be on, the David Letterman show or this show today?
I would definitely say this show.
That's the
Yeah, for
correct
sure.
answer.
That's the correct answer.
That's the correct answer.
Well, I got to tell y'all, part of the reason that Billy's here today, our good friends with Gold Buckle Construction, Lacey, Dale, and Dusty helped get you on here today. And if you guys are in the market, be sure to check them out, Gold Buckle Construction. They will customize your dreams, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we got a couple hats, so if anybody wants some free stuff from Gold Buckle Construction, be sure to check them out. I think Dusty's here, so there he is. Dusty, wave your hand in the air. If you want to
Awesome.
look into awesome buildings, be sure to hit that guy up. We appreciate you guys coming on board this year with RümpChät. Helped us bring in
Get a Pendleton whiskey.
the best bronc rider in the world.
The 5-time world champion. Put up the graphic. I'm not wrong. This is the PRCA. Screwed me over. What's it say beside world titles, everyone? 8.
8 all around.
He won the tie down in '85. Isn't that cool? I thought Joe B did, but maybe not. Yeah, so anyway.
I wish. It'd have been fun.
We're going to get that fixed. But
We're going to make a
anyhow,
call.
And also, you know what? Let's give one more deal away before we leave.
Oh.
We have a bottle of Pendleton Whiskey Midnight. Pendleton Whiskey every year helps us out, honoring a heritage that inspires us to live boldly, drink well, and taste the moment wherever it may be. Okay, anybody out there?
I've already got
You
it.
got a guy? She got the flying box on her shirt?
No, yep.
Yeah, she
Sydney,
does.
and Drew, I borrowed a sound system I tried to announce a bull ride one time, and I blew his speakers up. He let me borrow them, but I paid him back, I think.
Since he
I'm
blew
gonna
up a
give it to
$3,000 deal of speakers, here's a free bottle of whiskey from Pendleton.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, on
Sydney
behalf
Howell,
of all
right
of us at RümpChät,
Awesome.
so
Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you
Billy
guys.
Etbauer, big round
Billy
of applause.
Etbauer, round of applause.
The greatest of all
Thank you,
time.
guys.
The
Thank you.
greatest.
And if you're looking for something free to do tonight at Resorts World after the rodeo, we have Easton Corbin in concert, free concert at the Zook Nightclub. Be there tonight. RümpChät tomorrow with J.C. Yaquo and special guest, his brother Jesse.
Oh.
The funniest one.
Nice.
He doesn't know he's on yet, but
All
thank
right.
y'all for coming out. RümpChät live every day here at 11. Be sure to check us out. We'll see you down the trail.
Ooh, nice send-off.
Thank you. It was good, huh?
Very nice.